evening, everyone. This is Brother Benson Media, and I'm joined together with Miguda, and I'm also seeing Gibson Corner and Judith on the comment section. I hope all of you are doing fine. Miguda, how are you doing?
Um, all good.
Yeah.
I'm doing very good.
Hmm.
I'm fired up the way my fellow citizens are fired up.
Yeah.
I think the ground is good, very good for tomorrow. I'm
Oh,
also good
the
for
ground is. Mm. Okay, thank you so much, and I want to know maybe where you are, how what is the reaction of youths, or what are the reaction and what are the people saying on the ground?
particularly where I am. I've tried to engage some people. You
Mm,
understand? We engage people on social media online
yeah,
because I was also trying to gather my intelligence
yeah,
in Nairobi. Yeah,
mm,
and so I've realized that people are for demonstration.
mm-hmm,
That's why I told you that I'm fired up. People are charged. Actually, if you hear from people, people
yeah,
are yearning for change.
yeah,
And from where I am, I've tried to engage some youths. They are
mhm,
willing actually to protest peacefully tomorrow, and they are likely going to join the demonstrators wherever
mhm,
they are,
mhm,
because where I am, maybe people might not come out, but the
mhm,
ones I've engaged from the capital
yeah,
are willing, actually, they are willing to join, and it's just a matter of time. And I think we still support them. We advocate for the right to protest,
yeah.
and we also wish them all the best. And anybody want to protest is at liberty to do so, because that is what is in the Constitution of Kenya 2010. We are doing it within the confine of the law.
Okay, thank you so much. And if you go to some places, you find that there are young people who have decided to write down their eulogy, and they've said they don't want somebody to come to their burial to waseme uongo, na kuna wale pia wameandikia ule mguzi mwenye anatengeneza mwili watu wakafa, yani ni kama wanalipa in prayer. What does that one tell you about the point where people have reached when people have decided even to pay for their services before they die, and even writing eulogies and say that we don't want somebody to come and speak lies during my burial? What does that one speak to you?
To me, first I want to brief you that if you engage those people, there are people who have reached to a point of no return. There are
Yeah.
those people who are willing to die for the sake of the country. There are those people who are willing to do what it takes for them to transform this country.
Mhm.
People are different. So people having realized that, because you understand what happened in the Ojwang's case, whereby people perceived that there was like betrayal from the family to the
Mhm.
deceased.
Mhm.
So it was wise for them to brief the family in prayer that in case I'm gone, these are
Mhm.
my eulogy, and also brief the mortuary attendant that in case I'm brought, make sure
Yeah.
that some people are saying that kindly do not do not put my corpse on the fridge because I have heart diseases. But anyway, what they're trying to communicate in simple terms is that in case anything happened for any comrade, the
Mm.
family should not be compromised by the state.
Mhm.
Even if they are gone, the justice should prevail. But
Mhm.
that is what they were trying to communicate to the people, that what happened to Ojwang was something not good, and the family should never be compromised if in case of anything happened to them. That's why I think it was just a communication that
Mhm.
if anything happened, the
Yeah.
people who are going to remain behind should not
Mm.
take advantage of the situation so that they can make that situation to enrich themselves or to compromise justice. So I think we are seeing the quest for justice. Those are many ways of making it. You can use other forms of communication
Mhm.
to make the message reach people in a manner that they can understand it better.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm seeing Mabella one. I hope he's okay because yesterday, remember, he left us, and but the sources are that there was this issue of Qatar, whereby the military base in Qatar was bombed by the Iranian missile. So I don't know if you're okay. We can share with you the link so that we can engage in this. Um, um, Before we come to that, it is 1 year. We are almost turning 1 year since we had the protest by the young people. If you go to the Kenya Human Rights Commission, the numbers are like this. This is the number that when you go to their data, you'll find 60 lives were lost, 85 abducted, 9 still missing. That is according to their sources. And when you reflect back, you look back where we came from, and you're talking about of the 60 life, 85 abducted, 9 still missing for the 1 year. Do you see anywhere that you can point out that government or the relevant authorities have done so well, or have even tried to solve the issues that the young men and women went on the street for?
I understand that because most of the time
Yeah.
people have blamed them that the buck stop with the government and the
Yes.
people who should be responsible for the people who died. At the same time, they need to ensure that they compensate the victims or they engage those who are left behind. Justice should be vested to them. That's how people have been calling them out. I was looking at it whereby because they are the duty bearer in this most of these deaths, now they are trying to be negligent. They are trying not to assist, not to take care of the people because it might look for them, they will be like admitting that actually they've committed those crimes, and by ensuring that they compensate the victims, it will look like it is admissibility that actually they have committed those crimes, and now they are trying to compensate the family. That's why they have been negligence. They have decided not to take action in accordance to what is supposed to be done. I think that's how they are trying to reason at their capacity. But all in all, we understand that the responsibility is for the government
Yeah.
because most of the people who are killed, they were shot by police officers. So it's up to them to ensure that they are responsible for the deaths of those people who were killed by that time.
Okay, thank you so much. I was just finding a way of sharing the link with our brother who yesterday left us when there was an issue. Like when he comes on air, he will explain to maybe give us a brief on that. And we are talking about 1 year. And if you look at the Gen Z and when it happened, and there's some austerity measures that president put in place. That one was including cutting budget for both the office of the first lady and the second lady. There was also the trips talk about that. There was also to minimize on the number of advisors, the president would had. There was also the breakdown of communication, actually, that which even president himself agreed during that time that there was like a breakdown in terms of communication. When you look at that, and where we've come from and where we are, do you see that even those that the president himself promised austerity measures, did they take effective?
They never took any effective because they were temporary solutions
Yeah,
to our permanent problems. They were trying to give the people a temporary solution
yeah.
because they wanted to salvage the situation by that time. Now they
Mm,
decided to put some recommendations.
mhm,
So after a month or 2 months later, they realized that people are peaceful. So they
mhm,
decided to abandon recommendation. They know that this wave will one day come back. Today, they have been caught unaware. And that's why there is panic from the president. You saw him today, he was panicking. The
mhm,
interior CS was panicking. Even the house leadership in the same, they were panicking because they have been caught unaware. They knew that this thing is gone. So they never actualized on their recommendation. Right now, it has
mhm,
dawned to them that they did not do anything in accordance to the provisions which were laid down. That, like the issue you have cited, the office of the First Lady, office of the spouse to prime cabinet, and other issues which they were support, even communication team. Because previously we were briefed that it was communication team which failed, Mr. President. But today we don't know who's going to blame who, because currently it's just an hour and the country is charged. So we don't know, is it the NIS? Is it the communication team? So whom to blame? So I believe that they slept. They realized that the storm has come, and now they are preparing for 27 election, but it has caught up with them. So that's up to them.
Okay, thank you so much. Let me take this opportunity to welcome my brother. Hey, brother, how are you doing, sir?
Hello, how are you, Migud and Brother Benson?
We are doing fine.
Thank you for the wishes. I see Gypsum Corner asking how we are doing over here. I was preparing to come home. I had told you I was coming home but now the company is like, it seems they are saying situations still, when the company tells you need to wait for a little longer, you need to wait now.
Yeah.
The situation yesterday was a bit horrifying. We saw bombs raining down. My friend, I hope you never witness bombs coming to your country.
Yeah.
Such a horrifying situation. We were talking with you guys that time. I had boom. I had another boom in my door. I was thinking, who is this guy knocking my door? So when I came out, I saw flares of the bombs on the sky, brother. If there is something that is horrifying, and now the problem was I'll send you the videos. They were countering them on top of the sky, so you were seeing like fireworks. They were the bombs that were being sent. The other ones were being from here. From the American base to where I am is just 30 minutes.
Okay.
So I was seeing it. I was seeing them when they are hitting the
real time.
brother, yeah. It's horrifying affair. It's a very horrifying affair. Yeah, if that is what they witness in Israel and Iran, brother, it's not a joke. It's not a joke. If that is what Palestine were witnessing, the bombs are not a joke. I saw one of the bombs. One of the missile was taken a photo because one of them fell down. It was like it was the measurement of like a whole person.
Yeah.
Because it is big. It's a very big missile. So I'm safe. We are safe. We try to keep safe. They were not targeting Qatar. They were targeting the American base.
Yeah.
So their relationship with Iran is a bit better. So they cannot target them. So what we were hoping is that Trump does not say they retaliate, because if they could have retaliated, we could have seen more strikes. So I was hoping Trump cools down, but I saw God is faithful. That is what he did. He cooled down and he tried to talk out. So we are still waiting. I've seen Israel. They have said now they have accepted the ceasefire together with Iran, even though they tried to bomb the last minutes. They were trying to throw the punches.
Yeah, before the window closes. Yeah.
Yeah, before the window closes, they tried to throw at each other. They threw about 14 missiles here. 12 of them were intercepted. I think 2 are the ones which came, but even if they came down, it was in a desert place. It was not in a. So we are safe. Thank you for your prayers and knowing how we are doing. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. If you're safe, and that is what we are. Now, yesterday we were worried about, because when you say that, I say, okay, I know. But yesterday when you say that, I knew, because like for quite some time I avoided to talk about that issue due to the fact that unajua ukiingia sana hapa pia saa zingine unaweza kujiwa. So I decided, okay, wacha niwachane
na ndio nilikuwa naambia nitawajoin kwa maandamano. I thought that everything will have been sorted out, but now our flight plans, even my brother-in-law, we are together here, so our flight plan was changed. Also, they are taking our names now because they need to know. The problem with Qatar is so many people here are foreigners. The countrymen here, they have not even reached 1 million. So the foreigners are about 2 to 3 million. So you see the foreigners. When we were out here, the ladies were screaming. So they were screaming and saying, you see, we are about to die. So we were comforting them. But
Okay.
God is good that everything is okay. They just try to, now the problem, Iran and Qatar, they are near. They just share the sea.
Yes.
So it's not like Israel. Israel is very far. It's about kilometers. So when they throw the bombs, it takes
Yeah.
a while, maybe like 1 hour. But here it takes only 5 minutes or 20 minutes. Is here. But
Mm.
the good thing, it's all cool down. Next month, I think I'm going to be traveling. I was hoping to be there with you guys as we went to the streets. I wanted to come and retaliate. I wanted to come and retaliate, but now I don't have that. I saw even Rari Madao cannot travel. He was even seeking a flight, an expensive one.
Yes, and like they because it was traveling from UK to Qatar, so they had to make a U-turn, go back to UK because there was that there was no air. I mean, like the situation was that they could not land, so they decided to go back to London. So now ali nini hapo. That's tell you how the situation was. So, brother, what we are discussing, it is 1 year since the Gen Z went to protest, and a lot of majority of them, let me say, good percentage of them lost their life. 85 were abducted, according to the reports on the Kenya National or Human Rights 9 and still missing. But we're just looking at recapping on what has really changed, especially on the part of the government. Then also we will look at on the part of the Gen Z who have been agitating for change. What has really happened on their part? So let's start with the part of the government. If you reflect back, there were some austerity measures that the president put in place, especially to encounter what happened so that people could be in one page, including um, doing away with fundraising. But you find that he's the person who started with fundraising, and now here we are. If you look at that 1 year time frame, is there anything that you can point out as a Kenyan citizen that this has really changed, or the things have just worsened?
Yes, thank you, brother. That is a that is a very good question. And I will kick off the answering you by saying one quote that I've seen from Babu, just I think in the wee hours, the evening hours. And he
Mhm,
has said that the people are coming out to the streets because they have nothing to lose. They don't have even something they can say they can lose. They have
mhm,
nothing to lose. They don't have jobs. They don't have anything. So there's nothing they have to lose. So to answer your question, there is those austerity measures that Ruto was saying is going to bring,
yeah,
and there is no austerity measures that he has brought. The big thing that he has done, he has even made the situation worse, by cutting some of the important issues in our country, and bringing on things that are not even important to our country. For example, they cut the budget of education, and they
yeah,
added that money to the security docket. I don't understand why we need to add most of the money to the security docket, and I'm not seeing us fighting a war, or are we in a war? I don't see us in a war. So I don't know what is cutting the the education sector to take to the security, and
mhm,
also the money that has been used in the state house renovations, brother. It is so
yeah,
hurting that you can use a cool $1 billion, 1 billion Kenya shillings to do renovations.
mhm,
Well, people who don't have even the basic necessities is a problem to achieve. So
mhm,
the people who are going to the streets tomorrow is not that they are going just to the streets because of the police brutality that has been happening. They are going because they are angry, because what we told him to do is not what he did. We told him that we needed him to get rid of the CSs that he had in his cabinet, because we saw there is no work they were doing. All they were doing is just praises and continuous corruption and rampant any of our resources, spending of our resources, which is not in the right manner. So
mhm,
I don't think there is something he has done. There is nothing I think he has done on the austerity measures. The thing that he has done, he cut the budget on important things that were supposed to be funded. How can you tell us that you're going to cut the education exams funding, and you say that you're going to put them in the State House renovation, the DP renovations. How can you say that you are cutting? I had your friend, is he Professor Fred Ogola? Is he
Professor
a
Ogola.
professor? Yeah,
Mhm.
I heard him saying today. I like that guy because sometimes I listen to him. He was saying that how can you say that education is a key, and you are trying to be able to put education as first in Kenya, and at that time you are still cutting the funding for the education, and you are putting it in security. And it's not that we have people we are fighting. If we had a war that we are fighting, maybe like these countries who are in a war, we could
Yeah.
be saying that money should be going to securities. Okay, nobody could be arguing or bringing any problems. But the moment you are cutting our children's future, and you're
Mm.
putting it in other unimportant issues. You're traveling, you're what? That does not help, brother. It's just the same things that we had in 2024. It's the same things that we are having in 2025. But now in 2025, it has gone worse
Yeah.
because it has gone worse because we don't have a parliament, brother, that is oversighting the government. I don't
Mm.
know if these guys they know their role in parliament. That's why we need to elect people who know what they are going to do there in that parliament. I think they don't know, but I heard that they are in business. When they are told to bring a motion, like Ishungo is bringing a motion, they always tell him, "How much are you going to pay us?" He
Mm.
tells them 50,000. Then they tell him, "Ah, brother, that is so small. Add us another 50." So
Mm.
when they are given 100,000 each, they're just going to do the bidding of their master, and they are going to go and pass the laws. How many laws have been passed in parliament that can help the local mwananchi, or the
You know,
or the or the person in the ground?
sometimes even we don't know. You just get information when everything had already been done, as compared to other previous parliament, whereby you would know that there's a bill or a law that has been passed and it has been discussed. You know that, but sometimes we just find, okay, there's a bill that has, they're being sneaked
Yeah,
without you.
they sneaked even the finance bill. Did you hear that?
Yeah,
The
that's
finance bill for 2024 was sneaked in. I
yeah.
heard that they changed the clause and they put them together, all of them. And Ishungo can come and brag to us that the bill passed. What were you achieving? Is that guy? I wonder where his head is. Where does he have brain? Some guys I don't even understand them. Eh?
Mm.
Me, I have never understood some of the leaders we have. How can you come and brag to a whole citizen, that what could you have done? What could you do?
I
That
think
is
it also depends, and it makes you confirm the statement that the power corrupts. Provided that you have a lot of power that you enjoy, you tend to forget what is your mandate or what is your call, especially as an elected leader. I think that one could be one of the reasons, maybe, or there's that you want to please, like you want to please your master. That is also, we call it the psychophancy.
Yes, brother. I've come even to realize these people that tell us have come for a calling. Let's just ignore these guys.
Um,
They all come and take us to circles that they're saying I've been called to serve. But when you enter there, that's why you hear people saying that parliament should be burned down and we change another one. I don't know what happens when you go to that parliament. Somebody who was very nice and very good and very thoughtful, when he enters to that parliament, brother,
yeah.
I don't know where his brain goes. I don't know if they are state there, or they have cronies there. That when
Mhm.
you enter as an MP, for example, Jalango, you come out to the other side with another Jalango 2.0. So we don't know what happens there. I don't understand. But I think money changes hand there. Money
Yeah.
changes hand. That is
Mm.
a business.
Okay, my brother. Then I will also engage you. Let me come to Miguda. Miguda, there's this notion. If you read the papers of the dailies of today, it pointed out how the politicians are organizing themselves. At the same time, when you listen to Murkomen talking about the opposition, maybe are organizing that to give what, he was talking about the politicians organizing to give the protesters the machetes and all that to come and disrupt or to to do the maandamano, then you ask yourself, you are in the security docket, you get the briefings, and you still cannot take that responsibility. That is one. Secondly, if you look at the dailies, especially that I was talking about, uh, the majority of people who are mentioned, they are within the cycles of the people in the leadership. Yeah. Do you see that we can go far if it is not the people who wants to protest, but they're the leaders who are organizing for this chaos? What kind of a country or what kind of leadership? Let's not ask a country, because a country is ours, but what kind of leadership do we have?
I just know that that was a propaganda being propagated by
Yeah.
the government, because if I'm the internal CS and I have that privy information whereby I've been briefed that there is certain leaders in opposition who are buying machetes and pangas. Today that leader could be under house arrest, because we can't allow such things, because you have the evidence that actually because he said that he knows. Why can they arrest that leader and put that leader behind the bars? That is what they should do as a responsible public officer. But you cannot bring propaganda to confuse people. The peaceful protesters are not armed. The peaceful protesters do not have any link with any politics. There are those people who are just me, I don't know about the machete and the pang. Me, I understand there is a group of people who are peaceful and they are going to walk. They are going to walk in the street freely and go back home. But the ones machete, pangas, those ones are now criminals and they should be dealt with at their level. I don't understand. I don't even know that information, where the machete and pangas are coming from. What I know at my capacity is that people organize for a peaceful protest. There's nobody harmed, and the duty bearers should ensure that the people are fully protected until that hour the people will leave back home.
Okay. Thank you so much. Today I was having a conversation, especially with Kisumu residents, because and there are two groups of young members. Some of them are saying, okay, we can go for protest. The other ones are saying we cannot go for protest, because like they feel like, okay, the people who are going to involve themselves in the protest are bought, So the other group was championing for compensation. The other group was saying that we are just going to fight for that right. And it gives you perspective of how the young people are, and how sometimes they tend not to read between the lines. Because if you remember very well, Kisumu has been those areas that has been on hotspots. During the Maandamano for Sufuria movement, remember there was those videos that were going around whereby young men were being taken out of their homes and beaten, you know that. And there was also that some of the photos that even some members of parliament paraded on the internet. You remember the dead bodies with, so at what point, if the compensation, some people are fighting for compensations, you are saying that they have been bought. That tells you how our society is. And it tells you that even the young people, some of them still do not know the reason why they are going for protest.
What I can just say is that the people who are saying are not going for demonstration, if you look at them, even all of them, the ones who are calling press meeting, and they were the one who were bought, not because, and even the other Gen Zs, you saw them. We have also them here. They are our neighbors in Kisumu, so those people we know them. So they are the people.
I've engaged them, like I'm engaging them through, because like sometimes you want to engage, because instead of like coming and you just tell what is the reason. And if you see the text that is coming back and you say, hey, you say, oh, okay, as somebody in the media also, you cannot make you cannot force them to do what they don't want to do. You just
Yeah,
get their opinion, you know. And I say, okay, I hear you, but then I quote for you because like majority of them have hosted them on the same, and that's kind of so what changed. Then he say, no, we will talk that one later, you know.
I think they can't just be honest. To me, they were both. They were both one and counter. The people are going to, because they're the people we know. Even if you try to ask them, hey, bro, why were you calling that press conference? They are telling you that we were told to do so. So they're not even genuine in their thoughts. So who told them? Who paid them? So they should look for those people who paid them. But what I can say, there's this narrative that people are being paid, people are being sponsored, but by who? If they know that person, that's what I said. Let them arrest that leader who is sponsoring people, who is paying people. But these people you are calling, who are saying they're not going to sit for demonstration, I don't want to call out their names, but you know them. These people, they were given something from some leaders.
Okay.
But they're even weak people. You look at them.
Okay, immediately after Maandamano, I will try to engage. Now I will come and host them and bring them on live so we can have a conversation and they give us the reason why any of the two groups, you know, because I know them all. Gibson Connor is asking, just realized Kevin Obura is not in the house. Hope it's okay. Yeah, Kevin Obura is okay. He's on his way. He's still stuck on traffic, but he will be here as soon as he arrives in the house. So he's doing fine. We've just spoke few minutes ago. He's doing fine. Now, my brother Joseph, I want to engage you because you know when Gen Z came, especially when they are fighting for the accountability and the transparency, the issue of leadership was among those areas that people raise that at some point you need to have a leader, and at some point you need to have uh, you know, like an organized whereby you can have your spokesperson. Are you seeing any surprise that will come tomorrow, especially as Gen Z, to declare that this is now our leadership, or they're still going to be leaderless?
Thank you for the question, brother Miguda. I really loved when you went beast mode, and you even brought the Luo accent. I really loved it. Even I liked it when you were answering that question. So, brother Benson,
Mhm.
I don't know the schedule of the Gen Z, so I have not known what they are going to do tomorrow. So I would like to know what activities they are going to be doing. If I know what the activities, I had my own schedule of what they were supposed to do. So I don't know what's the official one. The one I know is they were going to have a concert. So I don't know if it is still the same, because
Mhm.
if I can be able to answer the question well when I know how the schedule is
Okay.
for tomorrow. If you can be having a schedule.
But now, if you look at this constituency of Gen Z, you know, each and every political party is fighting for them to get their attention, including the ruling party, including the oppositions. Each and every person wants to fight for them. But but now, when you look at the positions that are being held by this political party, you don't see these young people. How can the political class, especially because that constituency is a very important constituency, it can give you leadership. How is the political class, especially those who are eyeing them, can make sure that they tap into their resources and make them be part of the political processes?
Thank you. Those guys, they are not even looking for leadership positions. You
Mm,
had them what they wanted. They said it very clearly in 2024, 25th June. They said we need good governance. They did not say we need to be in positions of power. They
yeah.
just said we need good governance. That's why you had them saying we don't have any leader. We are leaderless. We are partyless, and we are tribeless. Because these guys, what they wanted a good governance from the government that was in play. So what happened? The government that was in play was given a chance to give them good governance, but they failed in that. So what
Mhm.
those guys are going to do, they are going to look for the next person who is near them, the person they see is potential, so that they can be able to see if he's going to give them good governance. Because already Ruto has shown is not going to give them the governance they want. So they are going to look at the next thing that is going to be near them. That can be, even when you look at even if they are Gen Zs, they always have their own minds and they know the people who can be able to make it to there. Even you, when you can be able to see somebody who is potential who can become a president, the next president, or
Yeah.
the person who will become the horse. What do we call them in the chessboard? You can be able to know the knight, or the person who is going to be forward runner who is going to be running against Ruto.
Mhm.
So what I know they are going to do, they are going to check at that person. They are going to check at his workmanship. They are going to check at what can he bring for them. Can he bring for them good governance? So that
Mm.
is what they are going to be checking. So for leaders, I don't think this they are going to be having some of them standing for these seats.
Yeah.
Some of them MCAs, MPs, even senators. I've seen one guy from Embu. Have you seen that guy who had been abducted? There was one young man. He has
The
said he's
IT
going
guy.
to be. Yeah, I think he's. I've just crossed up. I've not even catch his name because I was going through perusing, and I've seen that he's saying he's going to be. I think senator. He's going to contest for, I think, senatorial or MP. I don't remember which one.
Mhm.
But they know already. They know that the presidential race. It needs somebody who is well funded. You cannot. It needs somebody who is also, even if you are saying we need to bring somebody there, we need
Yeah.
somebody who is well funded also, because
Oh.
and somebody who has political power also. You see, that's why they all know, they all know. That's why you see their messaging is resonating well with the regime and messaging. Or don't you see it's resonating well? It's resonating because they don't want Rig G, but the message is resonating. Not
Mhm.
that they are supporting Rigathi. Because if they were supporting Rigathi, they could have said we want him as a president, you see.
Yeah.
But they are looking at options. They are looking at options. They are looking between Matiang'i, between Maraga, between Omtata. The good thing that could have been for them was Omtata, but Omtata still, he's not. He still has not reached that. Wacha tusidanganyane hapa, brother Benson, bado hajafika ile kiwango ya pale juu, si unaelewa? Ya
Mm.
hajafika pale nini, hajafika. Unajua, unaweza angalia mtu, hata mi brother Benson nikikuja nione kwako unasema ati kwako kuna mashida, alafu ninaona zile mambo unafanya bibi yako, nitaelewa nani anasumbua, unaona?
Yeah.
So they all know these things. They are not, they are youth, they are 25, 26,
Mm.
from 18. They know, it's not that they are foolish. They know these things, and they know what is going to happen. But for MPs, MCA, just I promise you, they are going to be in the ballot. For M
Oh,
for women rep, I don't know if it will be there because I'm thinking they're scratching it off. I don't know what will happen, but they are going to be in the ballot.
okay. And Miguda, I think you came across Billy Mwangi talking, and he gave the ordeal what he went through for the 17 days. But when he was speaking today, that courage, and he said um, that the Gen Z just asking the people who are going to form the next government, and he said that they are going to form the. I mean, like he said that they are going to form the next government, and if you see Billy Mwangi and today coming out to narrate what he went through, and with that courage, what does it tell you about the young people? Especially the ones that went through that in a way to suppress you or to silence you, but they can still come out and speak boldly. Oh my god, the problem with your internet. Okay, I will engage Miguda because I think there's a problem with his internet. um uh,
Yes, brother. Can I add something to what I was saying before Miguda internet come back?
yes.
Yes, I wanted to say, Gen Z also, they need to know that you cannot form the government alone.
Hmm.
They need backing from all these other people. You understand? They cannot form this government alone because they are saying that the majority of the people in Kenya are young. They're
Yeah.
75%. But that does not include that does not say only Gen Z.
Yeah.
There is another population called the millennials.
Yes.
So they are looking from 40, 33, 35 years to 18. So they need to know also they cannot do it alone.
Yeah.
So they need to join also the other guys. They cannot say they are going to form the government alone. They need also to have power and join the other guys. I see me good as back.
Okay, thank you. This is what Gibson Connor say. Kalonzo performance today nearly made me change my mind. He had the real qualities of caring leader and a servant. Uh, I, I agree with you, but I think like Kalonzo Musyoka has not made people to understand him. Is one politician who is presidential. There's something, and is one person who is diplomatic. But like when it comes to his political path, people tend not to do the best word tend to, do I say trust him or no? Because
He,
like, yeah.
he could have been the best, brother. He could
Mm,
have been the best. But the problem with Kalonzo, I don't see him as an outgoing person. Even when he was left, the void of Raila was left.
mhm,
When Raila joined the government, let's say that, because he always say he has not joined the government. But
yep,
when Raila joined the government and his people joined the government,
mhm,
Kalonzo was to take advantage of that. You know, Kalonzo was supposed, even the time Raila was going to stand for this AUC chair,
mhm,
Kalonzo could have taken that opportunity and started doing his own underground working in the whole of Kenya. But what
mhm,
we could see Kalonzo was doing, we could see money in Mount Kenya, in Cumberland. We could
mhm,
not see even Nairobi, not so much. Coast, yes, he has some people, so he goes to Coast. Nairobi hatujamuona akiwasha sana. So
mhm.
the problem with Kalonzo, he's a national leader, but the problem is messaging. I don't know why he does not try to advance himself in the whole of Kenya, because I've not seen him in some parts. In some parts I would like it to see him. So that's the whole issue with Kalonzo, because Matiang'i is also the same thing. But Matiang'i, I think, is established. I don't know what happened with Matiang'i and the people. I don't know what happened. Maybe they clicked.
Okay, Miguda, you as a young person, because like you are among those who are advocating for the change, especially during the last finance bill, and this you are the people who created the revolution moment. What do we expect for the generation tomorrow? Because like they are drivers, they are drivers. I know there are so many people that are going to join them. Even some parents are going to join because like mother saying they're going to protect their kids, but they seems to be like the drivers now. What new are we going to expect from you, or what declaration that you're going to declare tomorrow?
First, as the young people, we
Mm-hmm.
understand that previously, when we went for demonstrations, people came out because first it was about finance bill. There were some clauses which were to affect us directly, like the issue of the content creation, which was the largest industry among the young people, the content creation. And also saw it was that because our parents have been subjected into sufferings from time memorial, it's now the time for young people to fight for their parents, for themselves and their kids, because it was very important and urgent for them to do so. Because if they don't do so at this time when they are having energy, no one, we are not sure if Gen Alpha will fight. We are not sure if Gen Delta will fight. We
Yeah.
are not sure. So it was a clarion call that each and every young person should come out and step forward so that they can demonstrate far right. And you
Yeah.
know that in June, you saw the entire population in Nairobi. That time when everybody came out, people were present at the CBD. I got quite good friends of mine whom came out all the way from Thika Road. And it was a massive one. But now the question at stake is now people are asking about what is the end game, what is the end goal.
Mm-hmm.
I think even when people were organizing to come for demonstration, nobody was asking people that when is the demonstration, why are you coming now, why are they interested about the end game or the end goal? These are people who are just being put there to try to disorganize people.
Yeah.
People demonstrate every day. There's nothing like demonstration. it's not an offense. No one is going to murder anybody here. No one is going to commit any crime. People are just going to protest peacefully, like what we are doing right now here. We are exercising our freedom of expression on social media. Have we committed any offense? We haven't. It's the same way people are just protesting to advocate for the change in the country. Now, they should not stress the young people about what is your end goal, what are the objectives. By the time we were going to demonstration last year, were there no objectives, were there no end goals, were there no leaders, but it was successful. I saw some governments, I don't know, they have been put on payroll. They're telling people we can go because there is no objections. But previously, they were there. In fact, they were in the forefront, but there were no objectives. Why is that today they have changed the tune? So you understand that this politics, and politics also, there's a lot of interest. Some people can be bought to dance with the current regime. Some people can remain steadfast with the people. And also, you have asked me about the issue of courageous. Well, these people not coward. The courage comes in because these young people you are seeing today on the street, these young people, when there was introduction of the free primary education, because I'm a victim, these young people were going to school barefoot. These young people could afford one meal because they could not even go back for lunch. Those were in day schools. These young people you are seeing today on the street, these people do not even have this, or they could not even afford lotions. They could use those salad, salad, provided you shine. These people have seen it all. And now the good part of it, those of us who are in boarding schools, boarding schools in Kenya is just like a military camp. And the way we were being caned, the way we were being punished, it was just like a corporal punishment for you to pass exams. So issues like punishment, corporal, they have seen it all. Issues like suffering, they have seen it all, because you are born in a family whereby you are poor, the teachers were not friendly to you, the neighborhood was not friendly to you, the chief was not friendly to you. So you have seen it all. And even in boarding school, us, we used to wake up around 3 a.m. and we used to go to bed at 11. Unlike this current generation, the Gen Alpha. So as ours, we have been ready by the time we were born. So we have passed all through these things. That's why things like demonstration, protest, those are just simple things. It cannot match what we underwent when we were in boarding schools. It cannot match what we underwent when we were in the hands of the teachers and in the hands of the chiefs and the society. So I can't just say that these people, not that they are courageous, but there are some pressing issues like unemployment. Most of them are not employed. Most of them actually currently, they are not faring well in terms of managing their bills. Most of them, they have tried to do applications. They have tried to find out a job, but they can't find them. And also the cost of living is also pressing them, because someone who has graduated with a first class honors, he doesn't have anything to do. He's just at home. So he's seeing it's good for him. That's why you saw them unveiling those eulogies, and you saw them paying in advance the mortuary attendants so that their corpse can be taken care of. Why are they doing so? They are trying to communicate that the fact that we are trying to send fear to them, that death to them, death is just like, because we are human beings, we are prone to things like accident, death. Even those guns were made for human beings. People have been shot. This thing of fear, it has been overtaken by events. For the young people, there are those people who are courageous, because we interact with them on a daily basis. There are those people who are ready to lose it, because they are seeing it like if you have gone to hunt and you meet the elephant on your way. If the elephant kills you, the poverty ends. But if you succeed and kill the elephant, also the poverty ends. So either way, you must come out and protest for right. In my view, the young people, the only problem has been that there are some leaders who are trying to take advantage of the protest. Of course, the government must always challenge them with the narrative, which is okay. We understand. That is, we have no problem with the government. Let them do whatever they want to do. But there's some people who want to ride on this Gen Z movement. They want to take advantage. That's why today I heard them say that in case they succeed in that demonstration, because people have been asking who is at the capacity, who can take over, or whatever the case, they are saying any leader who will come out to join them on the street, they can install that person as the Gen Z leader, even if he's a millennial or a
Mhm.
Gen X. So tomorrow I saw people like Maraga proposing that they will be on the street.
Yeah.
So do not be surprised if people like Maraga will take the people, because now it's up to you to come to the street to take the people. It's an open it's an open window transfer whereby if you can come, you will take the people. But if
Mhm.
you're a leader, you're a coward hiding inside your house, then you expect that one day you'll come and make a press conference, then the jinxes will fall for you. That will not
Mhm.
happen. That's why you're seeing strategic leaders like Babu Owino. They have tried to tweet that come out, I'm supporting you fully. And I'm glad because
Mhm.
currently among the legislatures, it is only Babu Owino have come out to say that I'm fully supporting you. Because Babu, they understand times that if case in case of anything, they can install him. That's likely. But people like Maraga will be out tomorrow. So I'm
Mhm.
urging those people in opposition and government.
Mhm.
You cannot take these constituents through guns. You cannot take these constituents by intimidation, threats, and also trying to drive narrative. Just come out and join them and be with them where they are. So one day they will reward you. So the issue of courageous comes in because some people have nothing to lose because they have
Okay.
seen it.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Miguda, for that. And I want to engage karaoke. Mr. Karaoke, I know you are very much aware when the Right Honorable Prime Minister went to Uhuru Park and installed himself as the people's president. And remember that day Matiang'i was the CS for Interior, if I'm not wrong, I think. And the police were not brought on the street, and they did all that they could do within their powers, I would say, and they later went back home, and nobody was injured, and what makes it this one so much quite different? Why can't they do that? They just let people to come and petition what they want to do, rather than, especially like you find like the politicians are scared, of it. Why do you think so? For the Raila, it was like that. Now for these young people, is like it is that scary moment for them.
Yes, thank you, brother, for that question. We have a man in the hill who has a disease called inferiority complex. I don't
Mhm.
know if you know that disease. Inferiority complex. He feels like when you talk about him, he feels like even when you talk something negative about his government, he feels like he just want to crush everybody. Eh?
Yeah.
You remember the time Uhuru came to live. He was coming to live to online in the social medias.
Yeah.
Then he got abused, and he said this on social media stazirudi. He just said that. That
Mm,
was final. That was presidential of him. Mimi sitaweza kunini na matusi yenyu. Wacha
mm,
mimi niendelee
yeah.
na kazi. Mkitaka kunitusi vile mtanitusi nitusi. But we have a president that does not let anything down. Even a small calling of Kasongo. How many
Mm,
words did we call Uhuru? Tulimwita Wamashati, tukamwita Jaden.
mm,
They called him so many names. Did you hear even him come and saying ati mimi ati mmeniita hizo mpaka antaanza kuimba hiyo this guy my friend, he has so much problems. I think he has so much issues, he has so much baggage with him. So the only there is a very small thing that he could have done. Just bring the police, give security around, don't throw tear gas, just watch the place how it will be. This Gen Z will come and demonstrate, they picket, they'll
yeah.
finish, then go home. It's very simple as that. But when you start bringing goons,
Mm,
you start bringing police who are throwing tear gas and shooting live ammunition on the people,
mhm,
it means people are going to retaliate. And how do people retaliate when they just came with a bottle of water, a Bible? I heard they're coming with a Bible and Colgate and some all these things. Yeah, they are not coming with any weapons. So what will they do when they see you as a police throwing tear gas at them, or the crude people coming with weapons? They'll
mm,
start taking stones. Then what will happen? It will go haywire. But you saw there was an example we were given, a very simple example of
yeah.
2017.
Mhm,
Raila went and declared himself as the people's president. What happened? There is nothing. The police came and they gave them guard there in Uhuru Park. After they finished, what did they do? They went home
mhm,
and life continued as usual. I don't know what they were expecting people that ama the next day Raila angekuwa naenda Harambee House. So it was very easy, you see. But this guy, even when people are saying they are going to the state house, it is saying that because they want to intimidate him. Because that this is one of the guys who is so much I've never understood, but I don't think this guy has the capability of becoming a president or a leader. Because when you become a president, brother Benson, you must know that not everybody will like you. Not everybody in the country will love you. We just passed through an election where people, half of the country did not vote for him and half voted for him. So what does that mean? Not everybody will like you. So if you want to crush everybody because you hear even a kid there has just said that your dig is corrupt, you go for him and kill him. You hear another boy there even members of parliament, you hear they are saying that it's one term. What does one term have to do? You even if that guy could have said, okay, you are saying ni one term. Haya, wacha nirudi mimi niache kuwa juu ya gari, nirudi kwa ofisi nifanye kazi. Yeah? Nobody could. You know, there is a time we had a president we never saw. Two presidents we never saw them. Even we were asking ourselves, kwani president alienda wapi? We had a Kibaki president, we never saw him. Hatukuwa tunawaona. We had a Uhuru president the last of his term. We were not seeing him. Mpaka watu wanasema kwani president alienda wapi? You see, but we have a president who wants to be on the front lines of the dailies every day. I don't know what's problem with him, but I think he has an issue with that disease is what he has. If there is another disease, you can tell me, but I think that is what he has. And
Oh,
brother, before I finish,
yeah.
I want to recommend the media that is injecting, the media stations that are injecting. I
Mm.
want to recommend them. I will not name the ones which have let us down, but I'll name the one that is
Eh,
injecting. I want to name KTN because they have injected this government. They have
Mm.
injected way through from the beginning until now. I want to say kudos to those guys. They are helping us so much. And the media stations that are not even trying to talk about this government, shame on you. They even, instead of bringing demonstrations in the country that are happening in the country, they bring
yeah.
for us Afro cinema. What is Afro cinema helping us? And that time we have people agitating for their rights in the streets. It's such a shame.
And even like us who are in the because like when you register with the Kenya Media Council, is that we are being registered under blogging, sometimes we need to have conversation, because when we talk about the issues that are happening, it doesn't mean that we are against you. No, we are just feeling like these are the things that maybe the people are saying on the ground that is not reaching your place. So maybe by coming here, you can listen to some of those views, and that is a conversation. Because at the end of the day, if Kenya collapses, it collapses with all of us. Nobody is going to be anakuwa nabaki hapo ni kwamba Kenya imecollapse sasa sisi tubaki. Hakuna
Sorry,
mtu.
brother.
Yeah.
Brother, sorry, and I did not mention Benson Media, the number one.
Thank you so much. So that's why we are saying that if it collapses, it collapses with all of us. Because like even those who are in diaspora, you have your country. You might be in diaspora, yes, but home is home. Nyumbani ni nyumbani, bana. Okay, thank you so much. And me good. Let me just also just to engage you, especially we are talking about the political class, and whereby they tend not to discuss the real issues, and the tribal card tend to take center stage, whereby the blame game is taken to another person. And maybe, for instance, I've seen in some areas whereby the Rigathi Gachagua is being mentioned as somebody who is orchestrating this, without us discussing the real issues of what is happening. Why do you think that is so? Does it mean that we cannot handle what is happening and, say that this is what we are going through and this is how we are going to treat it, but we divert the attention and put the tribal card into everything that we do?
That is the narrative the young people want to change for this country, because it's a culture in this country whereby it was established. After elections, you find a narrative for next election. Then you work with that narrative until next election. People don't work in this. There's no service delivered from the government. It's just a matter of forming government, then next government, and form the next government. No one is working. So it has been a narrative undercast in this country. That's why now they are focusing about watu wa ukabila, wale watu wa ukabila. But that is not what is at stake. What is at stake is here the cost of living, unemployment, medical facilities, education. Those are things that people want to be addressed. Agriculture. People don't want you to address things like Mkabila. After all, nani si Mkabila? Are they different from that right? So those are things I understand now. They want to drive the narrative that because when I say it has been something, it has been a systematic whereby they were having those things like ICC that mimi na Uhuru tutapelekwa ICC. Michael will come and salvage us from ICC. Then because they does settle, they bring another narrative that Asla Nation and the dynasties, they also settle. They are now coming Mkabila, Mtusi Mkabila. So these things have been a trend whereby they are trying to look for a narrative to make people to believe that they are fighting against each other and they're bringing in their community in their war. But in terms of working for the people, they are not working. And I think because you have asked me why, what are they doing? They just want to campaign. They want that campaign time to come so that they can campaign and form another next government. So that after forming the 2027 government, they set another narrative. Maybe they become the narrative that maybe they become the narrative that maybe Kibaki and Uhuru are from Mount Kenya. They serve for 10 years respectively. Now let us bring another Kalenjin so they can have those narratives as politicians. So we should be serious as a nation, and also we should ensure that when we are given a mandate by the people to work for them, let us ensure that we work for the people and let us not focus on corruption and let us not focus for the campaigns and establishing any government. And lastly, I've been telling people that even when you are going for demonstration, you must ensure that your country is safe, because we don't want to go that route which we have cited, the Central African Republic. This country is good the way it is, other than the corrupt leaders and bad governance. But once we renovate Kenya, it should remain the way it is. We don't want it to collapse, because if it collapses, we are all victims. We want it to remain the way it is, and we appeal to our young people that even when you are demonstrating, ensure that you do not destroy any property, do not provoke any police officer, do not provoke your fellow civilian. Ensure that you do your constitutional duty, and the police officers will also ensure that they carry out their duty without rioting against civilians.
Okay, thank you so much. And do you know that Kenya is among the few countries in the world that has like a constitution or a body that fights corruption, and there's still people leading in corruption? Do you know that? Mr. Karaoke, go ahead.
Can you come again? Can you come again? I think people did not hear what you said.
I'm saying that if you look at in the world, Kenya is among few countries that has a commission that is formed to deal with the corruption, and even is enshrined in the Constitution in Chapter 6. But still, they are still thriving high in corruption.
Yes, brother, that is what happens. We have institutions. We have one of the beautiful constitutions in the world. And we have not only a constitution, we have the best these groups, these bodies to deal with things and solve cases like IPOA, like all these things that you see. But the problem is we don't have people of goodwill. People of goodwill are what we are lacking in the country. And when you lack people of goodwill, that's why you hear Onyonka always says the system is broken. He does not say that he says the system is broken, but I don't trust that in what he says the system is. I believe the people who are there are the ones who have broken the system. And even Brother Miguda, I want to say sorry to you. I wish these guys were all taken to ICC and we forgot about them, because they brought us to this mess we are today. So the people who are brought there, brother, you have seen them. They are the ones who have made this system to be broken. Our country is broken because of the people who are in power today. And brother, I wanted to say something before. Tomorrow, if you are not busy, can we have a show which is lengthier? Because tomorrow we'll be having so many things to percolate because of the demonstrations.
Yeah, tomorrow I think Marco Bura will be hosting. Then I will be picking up from him, and I know even he's coming with the second show at around 10. And there's something also, again, as a country, that we are, despite the fact that corruption being one of those things that we are fighting, we are also fighting the trust deficit. Whereby even the leaders that we have, they don't trust themselves, and this is being seen even in the institutions that we have, especially if any of the commissioners or some of these institutional offices, somebody comes and give a press, or somebody talks about, like, somebody will have to find to put somebody in place whereby he thinks he's going to get favors. The employment, especially in very sensitive areas, are being given to people that you feel you trust most. It's not that the people who can deliver for Kenya, but the people that you feel you trust with that work. And I don't know when shall we run away from that. Even if you look at IEBC, what happened even happened last year, especially the Cherara 4 and the Chebukati. If this is a commission that is formed to serve the people of Kenya, and to the mandate to deliver the election verdict, and they are divided in opinion, yeah, just because some people are feeling that the other side won, this side won, that mistrust, when do you think as a country we are going to run away from that? Even the leaders themselves, that even, like, if the right honorable prime minister and William Ruto has to come together in the interest of the country, they have to sign an MOU, because that one shows that the mistrust that we have, sir. When are we going to run away from that?
Yeah, I think it's a very straightforward question, and I have a very straight answer to it.
Yeah.
The moment that we are going to run away from these issues is the moment that we are going to know the constitution that we brought in 2010
Yeah.
was envisaged, or was being envisaged, that we are going to stop this thing of the president has power. You remember, we were trying to stop that the president has power and monopoly over everything. So I think the constitution was supposed to bring that, but the people who came in from the new constitution, they are always, I don't know if it is the phobia they have of the baby boomers and the millennials, that we pass through a government, or a political cycle where the president had so much power, that it even came back to us, that even now, as we have a new constitution, people like the EACC cannot be able to be independent because they fear the government, or they fear the president.
Yeah.
People like IPOA, they fear if they go against the will of the president, they are going to be defunded. They are going to be refused to be given the funds that they are supposed to be having, to be able to kick off their services they are supposed to be doing. So the only thing that we can do is know that the constitution came here to make us all equal, and the president powers was limited. It's just that because the parliament, if the parliament can do its work, brother Benson and brother Meguda, if the parliament and the institutions that we have given them, the Senate, the powers to be able to work independently, and the judiciary to work independently without being coerced by the executive, we could be having another case of scenario, because we could not be having MPs going to parliament and passing draconian laws, and coming here to pass tax bills, tax and finance bills that are threatening the common mwananchi. So the only thing that is hindering us from that is because we still have people who still believe that we have that Moi presidency era, that we can only be afraid of the executive. I thought we had that moment, brother Benson. We had that moment from 2002 to 2012. We had a moment that we had a president who was working with the old constitution,
Yeah.
but he was serving us better than even these guys who are serving us under the new constitution. If,
Yeah.
if what I always ask myself, what if Kibaki was working under the new constitution? I think it could have worked better than working under a constitution which was always taking so much. I don't always, maybe somebody can say I'm favoring so much Kibaki, but I saw him working with an old constitution that people who had worked before were not able to give the institutions freedoms to do their work. So when we brought the new constitution, because is what we are trying to bridge, we were not. The new constitution came because we thought we had an executive who was all saying, all knowing, all they can do everything. So I think that is where we are sleeping. But the best thing, kudos to these guys who are called Gen Z. They have come and they have showed us, you millennials, you baby boomers, you kama mulipitia mambo ngumu, tunajua bado mko na uoga, mnakuaga na hiyo uoga ndani yenu. So we are coming to show you that we can. Yes, we can remove these people who are always putting fear on us. Even now we have an example of people, you can say we have examples of Akina Bivot. You can see them in the government. So we still have a powerful executive, but I know that is coming to an end. That one is coming to an end, I'm telling you, I promise you. Because I know even, you see, even this tribalism, it's about to come to an end. We are not there yet, but I'm telling you, we are about to reach there. Because people, try and tell somebody about the nonsense of tribalism. I saw another guy in Obina show yesterday trying to talk about tribalism, and the people who are in the comment section, they were very harsh on him. They were saying that those guys we know where they come from. That's why they are saying one term. But he was shown by the people. We are not saying that because we are coming from a certain region. Other people started saying, I'm coming from this area, and I'm saying no, I'm not coming from that area, but I'm coming from the other area, and I'm saying no. So I don't want to name names here, because I hear we are so much people nowadays are suing left, right, and center.
Okay.
So, and brother Miguda, I want to add something to brother Miguda. You are lawyers. Tomorrow, be ready, brother.
Yeah.
Be ready. Be ready to assist these guys. Wherever you see somebody is arrested, be ready. The same way we saw in 2024. You did a very recommendable jobs as the LSK. I really commend your job, the things you did in 2024. Please, guys, let us not keep guard. Let's continue to fight this fight. We are fighting a just war. I hear another guy say that there was no freedom which was achieved in 1963. So we are going to achieve another independence for the country. So, brothers, I want to urge us, let's support these guys, even if wherever we are, if I was not able to make it, brother, let's support them in the way we can. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And before we wind up, let me just read for you. And this is something that I say that as a leader, they should go back and reflect. And this is what was Anne Mwangangi reveal some of the messages she got from the TikTok. Usinieke kitanda ya juu, mimi nasikia baridi, au huwa nusu kwa bed. Usinieke place iko squeeze sana. Mi usiku wa sisi wazazi tunasoma comment, tunaifaint, kuamka nasoma ingine, pressure inapanda. And you know, and you know, like if I was a leader, I would reflect and have a conversation and ask myself so many questions. Like, if a point has reached whereby the young people, that fear is gone, you know, and somebody is even paying in advance, especially for the morgue fee, hebu nipatie namba yako nikurushie kakitu. What does that one tell you? Yeah, because that is a person that has made up his mind, liwe liwalo, pabaya. I even saw wengine anasema, mam, mimi nikienda, you know, and just tell me as a parent, what do you think? And that as a leader, you're leading, these are your constituents. Can you find a way of bridging that gap? And let us have a conversation, instead of even like seeing what we saw on the dailies, that despite the fact that these young people are saying this, but you find like some people are still trying, according to their papers, that they're still trying to that battle to suppress. That strategy is not working. That is what I think. Like, if they were wise enough, which I know some of them are, they said that what is the best way? Because it's a war that you are not going to win it. You just suppress. You know, if you suppress or you put pressure, at a time the pressure might overwhelm and it burst out, you know. And what are you going to do? You know, so I think as leaders, there's something that they need to think and have that moral conversation and say that, okay, you know. And another thing is that as a leader, it doesn't mean that if you've lost, that one does not take away your dignity. Or if you say you go down on your knees and say that let's have a conversation, that one does not mean that you are weak. That
Yes,
is not.
yes, brother. And it's such a shame that we can hear people saying that we can hear in a country that we have democracy and we have rule of law as we term it. People say we have democracy. I was reading another person saying in a show when we were watching Murkomen just trying to bring his nonsense, saying that we want to see our constitution the same as UK and US, but when we are implementing it, we want to be like Bangladesh and other countries. So what I can say is such a shame that you can see a country where people can go to the social media and saying that hata nikikosa kurudi my mom just know I died trying. Can we say we are can we say we are not the same as Haiti? Can we say we are not a failed state? If somebody can come and tell you that I'm paying for a fee to go to, that you can place me well in the morgue and you can make me all the makeup and you can try to place me well as I lay there, and you can have other leaders coming and telling you that ati jaribuni kukuja sijui state house and you eat supper in heaven. Can Where are we going as a nation, brother?
That is a disconnect in society. We are so much disconnected in a society.
it's
It's a
it's,
big
it's very
disconnect.
hurting, and it's hurting, my brother. It's hurting in my heart. I feel very bad that we are in such a situation, and we are such in the 21st century, brother. We are in the 21st century. We are talking about people saying that tumeenda maandamano but tunaweza kakosa kurudi. It means that we are in the same in the Nyayo era, wakati watu walikuwa wanapelekwa Nyayo chambers.
Ah,
Ni Nyayo chambers tu zimebakia kuletwa, tukua tukisikia watu wamepelekwa.
no, forget about the Nyayo chambers. This is what I think. And it brings you, though we were not there, but it brings you, if you read the history of your country, especially for those who fought for independence, they already made up their mind when they are fighting for this country. And they say, liwe liwalo. Unajua, when you talk of Nyayo chambers, which means this is an independence that you've gained. Tunasema kwamba ukombozi wa mtu mweusi, lakini bado kuna ukoloni. Lakini kuna kabla bado ulikuwa na ukoloni ya ukoloni
Wabeberu.
wabeberu bado wako, lakini wale wazazi ama wale wa Afrika bado walikuwa wanapigana ili wapate uhuru wao, na wakasema kwamba nikafa mimi ndakufa. Na ndio unaona saizi hawa mavijana ni kama ni kama wale ambao walikuwa wanapigania uhuru wa nchi, ukombozi. Ama Miguda, wewe utasema nini?
Ningependa kusema tu jambo moja tu, lakini because you have asked why people are not fearing and the issue people have said about ideology and the morgue. What I want to tell you is that we have come to a state whereby people are talking about what about your parents, what about your spouse, what about your kids. But we understand that in this life, it's when you die alone. You don't die with your parents. When your parents die, you die alone. When your spouse die. So it's more of no one. You are by yourself. So if you have decided by yourself that as for me, I want to protest, that is up to you. So if anybody want to sell for you fear, like what about your parents? What about your spouse? It doesn't matter, because even some of the young people find that they are orphans. They never saw their parents. So they have grew up without their parents. So there's nothing like what about your parents? Because even if your parent passed out, it's up to him and up to her. So it's more of what do you want to do for your country? I remember J.F. Kennedy during one of the convention of the Democrats. He said that it's always not about what your country can do for you, but what can you do for your country as you. What do you want to do for your country? I think that's where the young people are trying to drive the point that it's not all about, you have been put in a scenario whereby they want you to think as a community, like we Kikuyus, we Masai, we Luos. No, you are an individual. You, like the question somebody was being asked, it was saying that the government is working, the government is progressing, but the question was, you are talking about the government. What has this government done for you? Then he could not answer that question. Then he was saying, there's SHA. Then we asked him, has that SHA work for you? He was talking about affordable houses. Then he was asked, wewe hauna nyumba? Akasema kuna. So you as Brother Benson, what does this government do for you? That's the question people are asking. Don't tell us about the issue of stadium. Don't tell us about the issue of roads. But as an individual, me personally, because I do manage my bills, like what are, in terms of fuel levy, in terms of medical insurance, in terms of education facilities, what has this government done for me? That's the question we should be asking ourselves, not we, the Maasai people. He has constructed for us an airstrip. So how many Maasais are going to board that airstrip in Nairobi? Those things don't add up. And they want you to reason that way. And I also had young people are telling us that if you cannot support this government, we will force you by force to support this government. We will even kill you to support this government. So what kind of reasons are we trying to come up, like with as young people? We should be having a different perspective of viewing this. We cannot have the same perspective of the kinds of Gen X, the kinds of millennials. You must be different. That as for us, we need a society whereby you can be accountable as individual. As for me, this government has done for me A, B, C, but not. We have come to Kisumu. There is a Kenyatta International Stadium, and if you look at that international stadium, it is the only international thing is that name, International Stadium. So anyway, what we're saying, we should come forward as the people to advocate for rightful things. It should be on an individual basis, because even our constitution, it is not a group right. We don't have the group right that the Luo rights, the Kalenjin rights, the Kikuyu rights, the Ma rights. No, it is Gashagwa's right, Ruto's right, Raila's right. It is Rex Masai's rights. It is an individual right, not a community, not a group right. So that's how we should be aligning our thoughts as the young people.
Okay, Miguda and Mr. Joseph, thank you so much. And Right Honorable Prime Minister has also called for free maandamano kesho. And I hope and I believe Mr. Makubura will be coming up with a show at around 10, and we will look at and is on his way here. Still stuck on the traffic, and he will be coming back. And to all our viewers and supporters, thank you so much. Gibson Corner, thank you so much. Gitonga, thank you so much. Laban Misiani, and to my good panelists, Miguda and Joseph, thank you so much for taking your time to be with us in the show. I really appreciate your time, and may God bless you as we are waiting for the second show. Thank you so much.